right, we got some pretty big news out of the NFL today as Kyler Murray is officially going to be a member of the Minnesota Vikings in 2026. This report came out today. There had been rumblings. Kyler Murray expected to go to Minnesota, is what Adam Schefter was reporting. I believe 2 days ago, he said they were the overwhelming favorites, but Kyler wanted to check up on the market. Pittsburgh was probably the only other team that I could have really seen Kyler going to, especially after the Jets traded for Geno Smith. The Dolphins signed Malik Willis, and obviously the other quarterback needy team is the team that's releasing him, the Arizona Cardinals. It kind of left only a spot for him to potentially be a backup or in a quarterback competition, and that is what I believe we are seeing here in Minnesota. Now, truth be told, if you're like me, you kind of think, yeah, Kyler Murray is probably going to win that quarterback competition. I'm not saying Kyler is this expert top 15, top 16 quarterback in football, but I think all of us as football fans probably would agree that at least the version of J.J. McCarthy that we saw last year can't lace Kyler Murray's cleats. Just telling it how it is. And I do think Kyler to Minnesota is a really good landing spot for Kyler Murray, the player, right? Before we talk about what it means for Minnesota, the team, what does it mean for Kyler Murray? 7 seasons in Arizona, former #1 overall pick, only one playoff berth, and they got blown out in their playoff game. Not a successful run in Arizona. And is that management? Is that coaching? Is that Kyler Murray? To me, it's probably likely a mix of everything that we talked about there, but this is a reclamation spot for Kyler Murray. The question has always been, who is going to be the next Sam Darnold, especially after Sam Darnold won the Super Bowl this year? Former high draft pick in a crappy team situation. Goes to Minnesota. Goes to Kevin O'Connell, Jefferson, Addison, Aaron Jones, Jordan Mason, DJ Hockenstein. I mean, this could be the Minnesota Vikings' second opportunity at having a quarterback reclamation project and keeping him. And if you're Kyler Murray, this is a dream spot for you. You go to an offensive-minded head coach in Kevin O'Connell, who will be the best head coach you've had in your career. I mean, it's Cliff Kingsbury, Jonathan Gannon. I think there's some other names involved there, but point be told, Kevin O'Connell, KOC, is 100% the best head coach that Kyler Murray will have had in his career. Best weapons? I think you could make a case, right? Obviously, Kyler Murray had that really strong season with DeAndre Hopkins, but he's got Justin Jefferson right now in his prime. And then you compile that with Jordan Addison, TJ Hawkinson. I think they still got, Ty Felton over there, who they drafted. You still retained Aaron Jones. You still have Jordan Mason. A decent offensive line. Brian Flores having a strong enough defense behind you that you don't need to win in shootouts. You could play comfortably. This is Kyler Murray's opportunity to rewrite his NFL story, and he probably couldn't have picked a better team to do it on. Maybe you could argue he should have gone to the Rams and sat a year, and I do think he would have been successful in that spot as well. But I think ultimately, if he wants to be a starter as early as next season, there wasn't a better spot than Minnesota. Now, for Minnesota's perspective, is Kyler Murray the right signing? Does Kyler Murray increase your ceiling? Can you potentially get back to winning 14 games in the way that you did with Sam Darnold? 2 years ago, we looked at this team as legit Super Bowl contenders, some of us Super Bowl favorites, and obviously we kind of see the formula did work with Sam Darnold. Star wide receiver, good other pieces, strong defense, win 14 games, get to a Super Bowl. Seattle just did it. Minnesota just kind of fell apart at the end of the season. Kyler Murray's a massive upgrade. And I don't know if people realize how massive of an upgrade Kyler Murray is, but I want to pull up here the stats from last season for Minnesota. I want to take a look at their quarterback play. Obviously, J.J. McCarthy played 10 games, Carson Wentz, Brosmer, all of it was out there. We'll just put it all together. We'll count it all. All right, a 61.6 completion percentage, most of that carried by Wentz and Brosmer, 3,208 yards again. A lot of the yards per game carried by Carson Wentz there, 163 average from J.J. McCarthy, who is the competition for Kyler Murray. J.J. was not balling out. You look at the touchdown to interception ratio. For J.J., it's 11 and 12. For the team, 18 to 21. Brosmer with the 0 and 4 not helping there. 60 sacks given up and an overall 75.3 quarterback rating. You look at the rushing production, J.J. McCarthy in 10 games, he averaged about 18 yards a game, 1 rushing touchdown. Carson Wentz, 11.4. not stellar production. Flip it over to Kyler Murray's, career stats. When Kyler Murray is healthy, he is giving you at least 3,700 passing yards. That's a 500 passing yard increase right off the bat. And some of those seasons are with DeAndre Hopkins. Some of them are without, man. In 2024, Kyler wasn't throwing to no DeAndre Hopkins. So something to take note of there. Kyler's giving you at least 20 touchdown passes, a 2-to-1 basically touchdown to interception ratio. The quarterback rating, 92.2. Again, you go back to Minnesota. What was it last year? 75.3 as a total. So about 20 points up in terms of passer rating, and obviously rushing production. Kyler kind of blows away what they're working with when he's healthy. 500, 423, 819, 544. So the point being, very clearly, Kyler Murray is a massive upgrade to what Minnesota has. Even if Kyler Murray is just Arizona Cardinals Kyler Murray, he is still a massive upgrade. And yes, there were some high highs, but there were some low lows in Arizona. If Kyler Murray can get to Minnesota, by the way, super cool, his childhood team, shout out that, Kyler Murray, very happy to return to Minnesota, return, to not the Minnesota because he grew up in Texas, but go to his team in the Vikings, who he rooted for. Super dope story there. But again, back on track here. Kyler Murray just being who he was in Arizona. Is it a top 10 quarterback? No. Did it have its weekends, have its Sundays where it was? You better believe it did. But maybe 15, 16, 17, 18th best quarterback in football is still a massive upgrade. J.J. McCarthy was a bottom 5 quarterback in football last year. And if Kyler Murray gets to Minnesota and gets unlocked and is able to level up and actually reach top 12, top 10 upside, I mean it when I say it. Minnesota's got Super Bowl upside. I know it is a short-term memory league. It is what have you done for me lately? But 2 years ago, Minnesota won 14 games. 2 years ago, Week 18, Sunday Night Football, they were playing the Lions to be the number 1 seed in the NFC. A lot of those same guys are still there. A lot of those same guys from that offensive line. Justin Jefferson, Jordan Addison, Aaron Jones, guys on the defense, still there. Brian Flores coaching them up. Last year, this Vikings team won 9 games. And you could argue they had the worst quarterback play consistently in the NFL. And they found a way to almost win double-digit games. They still didn't finish last in this division. Minnesota with Kyler Murray is a team that I'm buying stock in. If you're selling yours, I'm buying it. And I think it's going to spike. The win total right now in Vegas, I'm doing this on the fly, but if it's 8.5, no doubt I'm taking the over. They won 9 last year. If it's 9.5, I'd probably still take it. 10.5, it might get a little too juicy for me. Pulling up the FanDuel account right now. Let me know what number you would take the Vikings over at in the comment section if you have not already. Minnesota Vikings 8.5 plus money on the over. I might hammer it. The team won 9 games last year, and they are getting a quarterback upgrade. Because one of two things is going to happen. Either Kyler Murray is going to win the starting job, which I think is kind of the consensus opinion of what will happen, or J.J. McCarthy is going to take a massive leap over this summer and beat Kyler Murray for the job. And either way, I believe Minnesota's cooking, and I certainly believe that they're cooking over 8.5 wins. But this feels like, to me, a move that will actually get the Vikings back in the playoffs. So I am buying that Kyler Murray is here to improve the Minnesota Vikings. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. If you love the NFL and you're not yet subscribed to this YouTube channel, make sure you hit that button. We are quickly approaching 700 subscribers. I appreciate your guys' support. Make sure you check out the Free Agency Winners and Losers podcast that dropped with Javon yesterday. An hour of us just yapping it up. I will catch you next time.